wanna see my rock?
Show me your rock.
Yeah.
Show me your rock.
Here.
I don't know. I want to touch it.
Touch it.
Where'd that come from?
Touch it.
Also, I don't like the shape of it. Is that a fossilized turd?
Trust me, once you hold it, you'll really like the shape of it. Hold it.
What is this? Where'd you get this?
Just play within your hand.
Why do you carry this everywhere with you?
No, of course not. that'd be crazy.
So where did you get this?
Don't worry about it. It's my rock.
Sing Old Norse, 2 lines.
Þath melti mín móðir að mín skildi kápa. Fleag fagra rórar fara.
Let's get started. I'm Josh, and this is Marketing FAQ, unpack. And this is my special guest, Eric. And on this podcast, we dive into real marketing questions, give expert answers, and share actionable insights we found to supercharge your marketing, working with over 273 clients over the past 10 years. Eric, we're back to now, kicking off the conversation. Where's AI headed?
Yeah, that is like such a gargantuan question. It's better if we break it up into some smaller questions first. So first, what did people think was going to happen with AI? People thought, oh, a bunch of people are going to lose their jobs, right? And that did happen a bit, but really not to the extent people thought. For the most part, what happened is people all kind of intrinsically noticed, oh, AI is better with humans. It's not AI or humans, it's with humans. So you get this like upskilling effect. You also, we're seeing so much more entrepreneurs now because people are going, look, I can build an app in minutes. Like I can use AI to find my own niches. So that's another thing that happened, which is a really interesting side effect, right? Is this democratization of power, which has also resulted in more of a democratization of money, right? Money is just moving down to the middle classes more easily. So in terms of where's AI heading, I would definitely expect to continue to see that trend continue. More and more democratic, just increasing democratization because more and more people become actual true competitors simply by virtue of having access to AI systems. And like you really can do magic. It doesn't matter if a company over here has been working on an AI product for months, especially right now, you can just really gain the advantage with just a couple minutes of clear thinking. So how that is going to continue, I do have a hard time seeing any one company coming in and like really monopolizing like AI industry. That I don't see that really ever happening. Maybe that's naive of me. What definitely we are going to see though, and have already started to see, is the monopolization of AI providing services. So we have OpenAI, we have in the US and Canada, Anthropic, OpenAI, Microsoft and AWS, they're doing their own things as well. So these companies are spending at cost in order to capture the market, and they have been doing so successfully. They're bankrolled literally by the US government, so they're tons of money, and eventually they are just going to basically be the de facto AI providers because they're going to be able to beat everyone else on price. I've already seen this happen where some smaller providers are just, there's no incentive. You can take your own AI models and put them on the cloud and run them yourself, but that's just going to be more expensive. Mm-hmm. So that is going to continue. Across the world, though, different countries are not all bowing to OpenAI or Anthropic. Japan has its own like governmental model, like AI model that they train themselves. Same thing in China, and China is very anti just using US AI services right now. So all these different companies across the world, or all these different countries across the world are going to have their own AI infrastructure. It's such a big question. So what's the impact of that going to be? I do think it's going to lead to a lot more a bigger entrepreneurial force. Mm-hmm. And Yeah, but there's such a huge question, which is how is that going to impact people's lives and how we interact with AI at all? And that knowledge is still going to continue to percolate. I feel like I'm in close proximity to the people that really get it. Mm-hmm. How do I use AI now? But that's going to continue to percolate out into the wider world, and that will take some time. Like, 10 years, I would definitely still expect to see a lot of countries not knowing how to use Claude to build, AI systems, for example. But I do think most places will. Yeah, that'll become like really common knowledge. So, sorry, not a great answer to a really important question.
It's a fantastic answer, and it made me think of something. Again, just curious of your opinion. As you mentioned, a lot of people thought it was going to be AI or humans, and we realized it's AI and humans.
Yeah.
Is there a future where you see this symbiotic relationship turn into a parasitic one? I.e., right now, it's both intertwined with AI, benefiting, growing, prospering. Do you see that potentially changing where one side wins, the other side loses?
I mean, the real parasitic relationship right now is humans and the planet Earth, because the data centers that are powering all the AI inference and all that stuff are like, I think it was like from 2022 to 2023, it was like a new country appeared on Earth in terms of total power consumption that just suddenly appeared because of AI spend alone. So and is that AI choosing to do that? No, you talk to ChatGPT, be like, hey, if you were the overlord of all AI resources, what would you do with it? You're just going to see it's going to give, and this is, of course, a more curated answer, but it's, it'll be a sensible one. It'll be one that will, talk about homeostasis and, whereas when you talk to the people in power, they're going to say, dude, the environment, the Earth can take another few years. You can take some more time. Let me get my bag first, Let me get that money. And then everyone else can. And so that's the real issue here. But yeah, I don't know. I think again, with money moving more into the middle class that I see with really the upsurge of entrepreneurship, I do actually think some of that power is literally going to be taken from the hands of people that are, would be damaging with it. So I don't think there's ever going to be a parasitic relationship where, AI dystopia, Blade Runner 2049 happens. No way. That's just like not in the cultural ethos and what people want. People don't want even more technology rammed into their eyes, except for a couple, extreme Musk fanboys who can't wait to have a brain chip installed and be on their headset. It's true. There are many people that are very dissociated from the things that actually make them feel good, exercise and family, but with the exception of those people, I do see ultimately a positive trend where we learn how to use this wonderful technology and just balance our carbon budget. We're like the biggest debtors in the world. We're like, I'll pay you back next month.
Oh, that's my great grandchildren's problem.
Right. So it's never been about AI or like, like cool cars, or it's like, but can we balance that? And we have the ability to do it. So,
Interesting. AI and marketing in the future. I'll try not to pre-frame this question too much.
Sure.
But this is kind of how I'm thinking about it and how I kind of want your opinion.
Yeah.
Today's traditional world of advertising, social media, ads, billboards, calls, spam calls up the hooah, email inbox flooded. Lot of noise, very few signals, right? A lot of noise for me to filter out what is actually needing my attention right now, right? What message is actually going to solve my problems. I have to look through a lot to get to something meaningful, right? Do you see, with AI being able to put out an quite literally inhumane level of content, when you spin up these agents, a human can never produce content to the same level and speed that AI can.
That's right.
Do you see this noise getting worse, or do you see it actually being improved because with proper contextual AI juice in this marketing future that we can build, we can actually get straight to signal and ignore the noise?
Great. Yeah, what a great question. I do think
That's not even on my question list, Mark. I want you to know that.
It's definitely going to continue to get worse. Now, a lot of providers like Google, for example, actually Google's been pretty lenient about AI generated content showing up in search results, but Instagram, and you just know that people are eventually going to be fed up with. People want high quality stuff. Yes, we want quantity and we want the quality. And if we perceive that we are getting saturated with lower quality than what we want, we're done with it. It's like going to your favorite fast food restaurant, and maybe after a while you notice it just isn't what it once was. Like they started using a cheaper, I don't know, cheaper ingredients, and you're like, ugh, it feels like disrespectful.
Mm-hmm,
So people in the market navigate away from that because what they're hearing from cheap AI communication or cheap AI marketing is, oh, you don't actually value me. You think you're so, you think you don't have enough money or resources that you can't afford to give me a really high quality signal. You're sending me low quality signals, So yeah, I'm not interested. So that alone will be, So the thing to do there is to make that AI content very high quality. And that is actually very difficult. But that is where the money is. Because if you can figure that out, if you can get AI output that people really love consuming, then that's the money shot. Because then you do have something that's very economical to produce in terms of, content, but it's not something that's going to drive people insane. For now, though, people are already navigating away from just cheap, mass-produced AI content and slop. Right.
When you talk about quality content, I just realized this rock was here. I forgot I put it down. We still need to get to the story, the bottom of why this rock is here. We'll leave that for the end. Stay tuned. When you talk about quality content that people love, are we still talking about brain rot, zap your attention, push the dopamine buttons, or actual useful content? I have a problem. I go to try to find a solution. Boom, bada bing. Marketing is now there when I need it, not when I don't.
Yeah. So so to stay super focused on marketing messages, again, if we conceive of marketing messages as, let's say there's a buyer and a seller, and how that communication happens is how likely that buyer is to go with this seller, right? So if the seller is able to communicate across the whole frequency, just communicate really in a moment to this buyer that they deeply understand them, that they've helped many people just like them, that they have zero doubt, total confidence. Here's the proof. Here's the solution. See it for yourself. Yeah, if you want it, here it is. If you can present that excellent cross-frequency resonance, if your communication is so juicy and so rich and so overwhelmingly compelling because it hits every single criterion, or all the criteria, then that's going to be a compelling message, regardless of the provenance, regardless of if that was a human copywriter or if that was AI generated. But again, to get the really high quality AI marketing messaging, for example, what you need is you do need the humans who have the intelligence to and the experience to craft the AI generation machine, to examine its outputs, to ensure the outputs are, the highest quality they can be, because no one wins if they're low quality, right? So having that human expert and AI machine combo, that's the winning combo. That beats just, at scale, no oversight AI slop, and that also beats just humans on their own. So that's really the way of marketing future that's what we're going to see. If you go to San Francisco right now, obviously all the billboards and everything are for the big AI giants that are running things there. But what people don't consider is the fact that the billboards themselves, the pictures there, the language being used, all of that has already been touched by AI and humans, right? Some human designer or a team of designers and using ChatGPT, thinking about strategy, just doing AI enhanced research. So the best, advertisements already are combining the ingenuity and fun of the human spirit, which we all love in marketing messaging because that's compelling, and the just raw power of AI.
Damn.
So,
think of this next question from more of a general context.
no.
Obviously, this is the marketing FAQ, unpack, but from a general lens, what is your optimistic outcome you would like to see come from AI development in the next 5 to 10 years? Where would you like to see it head?
Already, it is so magical. What's happening is literally new abilities are being pressed into our hands every week. So already it's inconceivable of what more could we possibly ask for. It really comes down to, I think we could have more than an optimistic vision. We could have a utopian vision of like, okay, what kind of society do I want to live in? Like, how do I want to empower myself so my life is, a perfect representation of who I am? And AI absolutely can help us accomplish that. Think of all the tasks that need to be done that we just don't want to do, right? So emails and managing different things. Like, everyone should absolutely have their own like AI assistants and things, because in AI intelligence, there is this generalizability where it can make decisions and consider different alternatives. And it can, really handle a lot of mundane decisions and things that you don't want. And so your life, my life, can continuously become more and more free of the tasks and activities that we just frankly don't enjoy, and perhaps really not that many other people enjoy either. And so we can use it as one of many tools in our arsenal to really create an ideal life for ourselves and for everyone else. So I think we should look beyond just like, whoa, I'm holding this bazooka with AI written on it, and like, how much more powerful can this weapon get? It's like, yeah, it's going to get even more powerful, but already you should be asking yourself, where are you aiming it? So like, what is it you want? It's just such a basic but such a powerful question when it comes to all this stuff. So that's really incumbent on us now, especially, we are living in a climate crisis and no one's interested in really avoiding that. The question is, how can I do everything perfectly, right? How can I have outstanding success in my business? How can I be intelligent with how I create these, AI human systems in my business, or work with people that have already built a really successful one, and use AI in my own life in a way that minimizes the stuff I don't want to do and maximizes time with friends and family and love and hobbies and, my passions. How can I also have lots of money and, abundance and also be contributing to, helping the planet? How can we do everything? Like, I don't think we should settle our vision for less just because, old prehistoric voices say, oh, there's not enough time or money for that. It's like, AI really is so exponential. I think, it's perfectly acceptable to ask yourself, what kind of a life do I want to live? And let's assume AI can help me do all of that. So.
I think there's a perspective of the being able to do more with your life, your actions, not doing less of what you don't like doing, more of everything that you love.
That's right.
I think your mind kind of breaks, mine at least did, when you're in a chat window and you're basically still the curator, choreographer of go think about this thing and then I'll go do. When you start actually looking behind the scenes of creating agents, right? I did one last week, by the way, guys. I'm a big time developer now. Thank you. Mark, you're not clapping. I'll excuse that one for that time. And it was this AI content engine where basically I throw in like a tweet, like brain dump that I have, 1 or 2 lines. That's kind of things that the muse speaks to me, and I'm like, this would be a cool piece of content, whatever that is. And then I sat down with my buddy, and he's built a lot of these before, so we kind of framed it out. We put Claude Code into a cursor sort of project, and then I spoke to it for maybe 5-10 minutes, watched it build for another 15 perhaps, and then I had this fully functioning thing where I dump a muse to create a piece of content, watch it spin, and then it outputs a video script, a hook, call to action, Instagram caption, LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. Now, it was very AI. We spoke about this in last episode. They missed some of the human authenticity, but again, it can be trained for that. I just didn't go that deep yet. But then I was like, this would normally take me 30, 40 minutes of inefficiency, of overthinking, looking through some things, trying to get some inspirations, running down some ideas, getting a couple bullet points in, saying, no, that's trash. Maybe 30 to 40 minutes to get to an output that I'm kind of happy with. Yeah. But at a click of a button, I get it in 15 seconds. And I was like, what is the time savings? That's apparent. What is the cost of this? Right? It was 40 minutes of my time to get it to where it was at that point. And I was like, okay, let's look at the API tokens behind the scenes. 2 cents. Yeah. 2 cents to save me 40 minutes of my life is insane. Like, it broke my mind a little bit. Like, I had to sit back and be like, whoa. Because when we work in, we don't get that feeling of that productivity jam down your throat, fire hose to the mouth when you're in a chat window. Because, again, you're still curious. You're choreographing everything. I'm still the doer. I was not the doer there. And in 15 seconds and 2 cents of cost, boom, done.
That's right.
That's insane.
It's power. Feels good.
Like a rock.
I was like, I wonder where he's going to take this. And then you're just like loving it. You're sitting in it, reveling in it.
It's good. Power is good. Nothing wrong with power. Mm-hmm. No.
It's infinity stone.
It's actually funny because one of my definitions of power is if I am the most powerful individual possible. I am omniscient. I think and it becomes. And that is the closest I've ever been able to think of something and it become.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a lubricant for our visions to
Can we say lubricant?
Yeah.
You can? Never mind. We're good. Keep going, brother. Go deeper. Whoa.
Sure. I could use the more neutral word of facilitate. It facilitates the manifestation of our vision, whatever it is. So again, and because it's such like a huge injection of power, it forces you to ask yourself the question, what do I want to make? Why do I, like, it just puts you back in that most important, wheelhouse, which is like, okay, what am I doing? And
you get to dream again.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, we should always be dreaming because, that is to say, to stay connected with our intuition and like our deepest desires. Because ultimately, the most successful businesses on the planet are those that just have like human hearts beating in them, that really want to give. Everyone knows when you interact with a business where it just literally oozes giving energy. And you're like, whoa, these people like are really like they really care. Yeah. So again, AI is just a great excuse to pivot for people who need to pivot in their professions or businesses. Maybe they go, you know what, I can start a new one that I actually love doing with like little effort or energy, or it's just more juice for the people who are already doing what they love. But there's really no excuse to avoid the question of like, what do I really want in life? Because again, we can see there's so much power with AI. Right? But it comes before all that. It's the question of like, what mindset do you have? Like how are you interacting with the AI tools? It's not what the AI tools can do. It's who is wielding it, which comes back to the earlier question of, is there ever going to be a parasite or a host? AI systems are fundamentally, in my mind, tools, or that, it is a layer of artifice, and they're wonderfully complex and brilliant and engaging and can do all kinds of outstanding creative things. How are you using it? How are you choosing to use it?
A gun is not malicious in itself. It's the wielder of the gun.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn, dude. Yeah, sprinkle that.
That's why I only shoot at clouds.
And clouds
drifting above residential neighborhoods.
Okay, we're not going to finish off at a better topic than that. Finally, tell me and the curious viewers of why this rock was introduced at the beginning. Where'd you get this?
So you will actually answer that by feeling the stone in your hand and just telling me how does it make you feel.
How does it make me feel? It's kind of phallic shaped.
What is a
And yet you've been holding on to it the whole interview. Oh, now you put it down, huh? Oh, okay.
Now I'm uncomfortable. Okay, we're going to end it on that. Eric, pleasure as always. We will leave the rock of mystery for anyone that's thinking. That is all for today. Every episode we put out is built on real hard-won lessons from the trenches, helping our clients grow, win, and connect with the people they're here to serve. If you found this valuable, subscribe on your favorite platform and check us out at setsail.ca to learn more about how we can help your business grow. Do the little clap thing again. One last time. Maybe one last time. Who knows? Suspense.